It's been almost a month since I started flying the Antigravity A1, the drone I was dreaming about since I first time heard about it. Co-engineered with Insta360, built around the idea I've had in my mind since I started flying drones 5 years ago. Stop worrying about framing, start enjoying flying, and keep practicing at home. In today's episode, I want to share my honest, unbiased review after 1 month of real-life experience with Antigravity A1. The real pros and cons, details nobody talk about, and especially the daily experience including menus, battery life, settings, workflow, and what it actually feels like to live with this drone. Is it worth your money? Will you love it or hate it? Just keep watching and I promise you lots of fun. You know, it's easy to talk about raw specs, but it's hard to talk about experience. And after 1 month, experience is the only thing what really matters. It's the first drone where the core idea is simple. The camera records everything. A true 360 camera drone. When you fly, the camera captures all directions at the same time. No blind spots, no missed moments. You can reuse the same footage from different angles and get the completely different perspectives, unlike from traditional drones. If you've flown drones before, you know that feeling when something important happens outside the frame, behind you, above you, slightly to the side, and you realize you miss it. With a 360 drone, that problem disappears. Even if you don't see it, the camera sees it. I still remember trying a 360 camera for the first time some years ago and thinking how cool it would be if this could fly. And now it does. The camera technology is clearly high-end, the same as on Insta360 X5, meaning really advanced. Two cameras are placed on the top and on the bottom, and the software stitches the images together. With AI and optical stitching, the drone disappears. With 360 drone, you stop thinking about camera direction and you start thinking about movement. That completely changes how you fly or when you need to track something or somebody. Another big advantage is safety. The drone has multiple sensors enabling omnidirectional protection, and that directly affects confidence. You fly closer, you explore more, you hesitate less. But maybe the most impressive things is size and weight. This amount of technology is in a category of sub 250-gram drones still feels slightly unreal. It makes the drone easy to carry, easy to deploy, and mentally easier to fly. And of course, it is C0 category, so you don't need a license. The flying experience itself is probably the biggest reason people will buy this drone. I've flown traditional drones with controllers, I've flown FPV with goggles, and there was always a limitation. The frame, the feeling of looking through the window. With this drone, that limitation disappears. You can look anywhere, naturally. Up, down, behind, sideways. The first time you hover near a cliff or above mountains and simply look around like a bird, it's unforgettable. That sense of presence is real. Sometimes I fly without filming, just to explore, and even places I know feel new completely again. The goggles are a big part of this experience. Streaming quality is really good, sharp across the image and surprisingly comfortable for longer sessions. There is also an external camera pass-through feature. You can see your surrounding without removing the goggles, which is extremely practical. Another feature I love is external screen for companions. When you fly with someone, they can see exactly what you see. Flying becomes social instead of isolated. The controller and goggles integration is one of the strongest parts of the product. Instead of traditional sticks for menu navigation, use a pointer, essentially a floating cursor controlled by hand movement. It sounds strange until you try it. After a few flights, it becomes natural. You point, select, and confirm. Scrolling is done by holding the trigger and moving your hand. It really feels you using mouse in the air. I never lost a pointer, never struggles with menus, and even in windy conditions, navigation stayed reliable. Wind performance really surprised me. I flew in a strong gust, more than 50 km per hour, and the drone stayed stable with usable footage. For something this small, that's impressive. There are three flight modes: cinematic, normal, and sport. In sport mode, obstacle avoidance is disabled, which is expected. Switching between modes changes the feel significantly, especially motion smoothness and responsiveness. One detail many reviews skip is how the menu system actually works, day to day. Most interaction happens inside the goggles. Press the menu button on the controller and you enter the main interface where you can access flight safety, camera settings, intelligent features, album, map, and system configuration. There is a notifications area showing warnings, updates, restricted zones, and system messages. This becomes your status center and you start checking it automatically before takeoff. Flight safety settings are important and worth spending time on. You can configure signal loss behavior, return to home altitude, maximum altitude, and obstacle avoidance behavior. There is also a mini-map showing orientation, home point, and route context. It's not something you stare at constantly, but it adds awareness. Playback directly inside the goggles is useful. You can quickly preview clips without removing the headset or connecting devices. That speeds up workflow more than expected, and even the fog feature that allows to remove the fog from the goggles lenses if you fly in the cold weather. During the flight, the interface overlays essential information: battery level for drones, goggle controller, signal strength, recording status, home point direction, and a flight mode. After a few sessions, this becomes subconscious. A feature I use constantly is a quick menu. Holding the menu button opens fast controls, camera adjustments, transmission toggles, shortcuts. This avoids deep navigation mid-flight and keeps you focused. Camera settings are deeper than many people expect. You can adjust exposure, ISO, white balance, enable histogram, zebra patterns, guides, and other professional tools. This clearly shows that drone is designed for creators, not just for casual users. Important, I highly recommend to modify the video and color settings immediately. Keep 8K 30 FPS. Reduce saturation, contrast, and sharpness. This produces a flatter image closer to a log workflow and gives more flexibility later. Controller field settings are underrated. You can adjust sensitivity curves, essentially changing how the drone responds to movement. Experienced pilots will appreciate this because it allows personalization instead of forcing one behavior. There are also custom buttons that can be mapped to shortcuts, which speeds up workflow once you know what you use most. Intelligent flight features like include tracking, automated cinematic shots, and pre-planned movements. They work well, especially for beginners. But interestingly, because this is 360 drone, you rely less on automated shots than on movement itself. You can create the shots later. One of my favorite things, the flight simulator. It deserves more attention than it gets. You can practice motion control, menu navigation, and flight feeling at home. It reduces anxiety, speeds up learning, and is honestly fun enough to use even when you are not planning to fly outside. You have a specially built 3D world with many obstacles, mountains, water, balloons, so you can practice before you start flying real. Battery life after 1 month feel impressive. In real conditions, I usually land with much more battery than expected. Even in windy conditions, after 10 minutes of continuously flying, I landed with 65% of the battery left. With no wind, I finished with 63% after 19 minutes. I like the back and overall portability, but I still wish there was a simpler propeller holder so I don't need the case every time. Now the downsides. We need to remember that this is the first version of such type of drone in general, in the history of drones, so there should be some downsides, of course. So let me tell about things that I found based on my personal experience. The most noticeable limitation is combined movement on the controller. Certain simultaneous actions, like moving forward while spinning, feel restricted compared to traditional drones. For most pilots, it won't matter, but advanced pilots will notice. Lighting is another challenge typical for 360 cameras. Low horizon bright sun can create flares. Low light, like before sunrise or after sunset, introduces more noise that you might want. It's manageable, but it requires awareness and planning. And use suggested video settings. Landing pad recognition felt inconsistent. I saw the prompt rarely. This feels like software that could improve with updates. Another thing I would love is support for secondary goggles, so another person can experience the flight live. That would be a big improvement for shared experience. And believe it or not, but I don't have any other downsides. Connectivity overall has been excellent. Setup was fast. Syncing stable and firmware updates were straightforward even if they take time. After 1 month, the biggest conclusion is not about specs, it's about mindset. This drone changes flying from capture something to experience something. The fun factor is extremely high, the versatility is real, and the freedom of reframing later removes pressure during the flight. The desktop Antigravity Studio is similar to Insta360 Studio, very intuitive and fast. Also reliable mobile app for drone setup and video editing and preview. Would I go back to traditional non-360 drones? For certain professional scenarios, yes, but for exploration, storytelling, travel, and creative flying, it's very hard to go back. From my perspective, I can easily award this A1 as the best camera tech of 2025, because nothing gave me so much fun as this drone. Whether you're a beginner or experienced pilot, the experience feels completely new, and that's rare in drones. Antigravity will likely expand the ecosystem. New drones, new controllers, maybe screen-based options. But personally, I would still choose goggles because of the presence is the defining features. After 1 month, what I love most is simple. I fly more. Not because I need footage, but because I enjoy flying again. So guys, that's my honest extended 1 month review of the Antigravity A1. The good, the bad, the details, and the experience that specs can explain. In the next episode, I will compare it side by side with a traditional drone, like the DJI Mini Pro, so we will find which one you should buy depending on your style. And if you enjoyed this video, just don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Cheers! Bye!